Hello everybody, my name's John and welcome to my channel. Today we are doing shocks. Well, those shocks are bad. As you've seen on my previous videos, or maybe you haven't and you need to go and look, the shocks on the older car, 2 weeks older than this one here, are surprisingly and shockingly bad. This is a lot firmer and this one's a lot softer, a lot softer. It also sits slightly lower. If I do the rear, similarly, this one is just like, I mean, there's hardly no suspension there now at all, and this one feels, actually this one's starting to get pretty naff as well. What I did notice is, which was mentioned in the comments by somebody, I can't remember who, so my apologies, is that all of the shocks at the top do have that suspicious collection of mud and dirt, so they could be leaking. You can clearly see they definitely were leaking. However, I have a solution, and it comes in the form of these official shock oil. Apparently you can't put just any oil into shocks. Is that going to focus or not? Yeah, it has. Okay. So, what I did was I purchased these at a quite reasonable $3.99 each. That was euros, yeah. And I purchased the 250, the 550? Yeah, 550, and the 750. Sorry, it wasn't that I couldn't read the numbers, it was because I was looking at the camera to make sure it was in focus. So what I figured was we will do a test just at the start before I change any oil and just see, obviously I reckon I'll do the camera quite low and then we'll just see what the compression is from depending on how high we drop it. But then on this one we'll probably do 250 on both at the rear and 550 at the front. And on this one we're going to do 750 at the rear, and at the front here we shall be putting in our favourite olive oil blend because it's a little bit cheaper. Not that I'm a tight ass, but I'm not using my very special olive oil. Now that is just to see A, if you can replace it with something like that, and B, whether it will cause any damage after a period of time. So I will obviously keep you updated weeks, months down the road. Now the reason that I have my son's car here is because, let's move all this out of the way, the suspension is a bit wallowy. It does what it's supposed to do, but what I wanted to see as a fifth option was if I put in car engine oil. I'm only going to do it in the fronts, not in the rears. I won't touch the rears on this for now. And then we'll see how that also degrades in the next weeks and months. But I thought that would be a good video to show you guys the difference in sort of shocks and oils and whatnot. So let's get at it. As you can see, the oil is milky, it is not clear, which means that it's been leaking. This is what it should look like. Clear, absolutely clear. That is good oil. That means that it's not been leaking at all. And you can see, this one has also been leaking. You can see in the colour of it. How beautiful are these RC shocks? Absolutely stunning. Look at the detail put into it. Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a day and a half since I pressed stop on the last part of this video. The reason being that I had to completely clean, let dry properly everything and get things set up. Now, we'll continue on. I've sort of marked every pair of shocks for what type of oil's going in there. 750, 550, 250 olive oil. There's been one change. The motor oil ones, these ones here, are going to have sunflower oil. The reason being that I do not have any motor oil around. I thought I did, but I don't. So we're just gonna go with what we have. Homemade diddy funnel. I'm expecting lots and lots of mess. My hands are shaky today, I don't know why, but let's get on. So first, 750. I will say, here, come on, autofocus. There we go. Here is where 5 of my shocks were leaking. I'll put a picture up on the screen now. So you can clearly see that they've been leaking there. So I've taken all of this apart, cleaned everything, let it dry properly, put it all back and tightened it as much as I physically can. So 750, 750. Obviously the tissue's here just to try and stop a lot of the mess. See how we get on, of course. Let me just put the kitchen lights on as well. I don't have the studio lights in the best position right now. Alright, so how much of a mess is this going to make, do you reckon? Is that designed for that to go like that? Yes, so my homemade funnel was just pointless. Right, that's as high as it can go. See how much spills out, shall we? I'm going to be leaving the labels on until they're mounted onto the cars just so I don't get confused. But by the looks of it, that one is done. Excellent. Number 1. Right. So, took all that time to get this ready to pour the oil in, and I'm doing it by hand anyway. You have to be careful with air bubbles. Just give them a little bit of time to raise to the top. Which, yes, I didn't do on the first one. I will open it again. What I am doing is just pushing this up and down a little bit to get the air bubbles out. Okay. Nice. That was the 750. Okay. 550. 550 is a lot thinner than the 750. And now to the olive oil. Mamma mia! I know that this one's going to be a little bit more controversial because there's a lot of threads out there of people saying you can't use anything other than these types of oil for shocks because these are oil for silicone, and obviously the silicone rings, seals. However, I've seen lots and lots of threads for the motor oil, to use it, not to use it, etc. But none for olive oil. So, we shall find out, shan't we? Oh yes. Right. Yep. That was maybe a bit too much and a bit too quickly. Instantly you can see it's a lot thinner because the bubbles came up like a bullet. Whoa. No, it doesn't actually feel that bad. Come on. No. I don't know if that's got enough in it now that that air bubble's gone. Ooh. Here we go. Come on. Just a drop. All three. Olive oil in your RC shocks. What am I thinking? There we go, there's the olive oil, and now on to the vegetable oil. Just put that there because I may have to refill in a minute. Oh man, how much is that going to pour out? There's my answer. Actually seems to work quite well, but we're going to have to see. Okay, I'm going to get tidied up, I'm going to get them all installed back into the cars, and then we'll have a comparison.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.